We're ready for our lesson for this evening. Welcome to Module 2 and Lesson 3, the ICT policies and issues. Anyway, this is not new to everyone because we're governed by laws, policies, and regulations when it comes to the use of ICT. Because, as I mentioned last meeting or yesterday during the Class B sections, implementing the ICT means we are not the owner of a particular specific hardware or internet or website, but then we are just consumers of these services. And if we are just consumers or subscribers to these services, then we are governed by their laws and policies and regulations. There are privacy settings that we need to comply before we are to make use of their services. So it's not goods. If you talk about goods, then you can buy it and own it, and you could call it as your belonging, no? But this is not a good. Yet these are services. Talk about services, they will just provide us the opportunity to make use of their companies or their programs or their softwares, but we are not the owner of these privileges. So kung ano yung mga policies, issues, and regulations that they are to implement, then we just click agree. If you don't know or you don't want to agree with their regulations and terms and conditions, then you are free not to subscribe. Ganun lang yun. Okay? Now, on my screen are the definitions once again that we may encounter as we navigate the ICT policies and issues. First is we talk about information and communications technology or ICT. If we talk about ICT, it refers to the technology that provides access to various informations through telecommunication. So the number one tool or medium is telecom or telephones because we are run by communications through telecommunication. Meron tayong satellite, no? These receiving satellites are providing us with the amenities of uh, connecting with one another despite of the distance. So if you have your website with you or you have your DSL connections, they are made up of telecommunications. So it's similar to information technology or IT, but its focus is primarily on communication technology. Okay, if you talk about communication technology, it's the medium where we pass through communications by one medium to the other. For example, communication technology can be relayed through internet, through wireless networks, through our cellular phones or smartphones and other communication mediums. Accepted na si mediums, no? Other term is media. And in ICT, we have three categories for the new technologies. First is the information technology, which includes the use of computers, which has become indispensable now in the modern societies to process data and time and effort. So computer, we need computer hardware, ano pa, and its peripheral software, and for other users to make it a computer literate or to make us a computer literate person. Though kahit bili ka ng bili ng mga gadgets, tools, and technologies or hardwares, if you don't know how to make use of it, you don't know how to process it and provide inputs, then it would be useless. So, sa dami ng mga gadgets mo, sa dami ng materials, pero hindi mo naman alam maki-communicate sa computer, then it's useless. Okay? That's information technologies. Next term is the telecommunication technologies. As you mentioned, this includes telephone with fax machine. That's the oldest way, and the broadcasting of radio and television often through the use of satellites. So telephone systems, radio, and television broadcastings are needed in the category of telecommunications technology. But this time, they're already combined, no? They are combining radio with that of televisions. You term it as teleradyo, no? DJ Rosana's here. So they are using, no, a combination of both radio and television through social media platforms. Then we
Yes,
have the
sir.
networking technologies. What are networking technologies? These are the best known technologies now in the market. No, it's all about the use of internet, but has extended to your mobile phone technologies. We have this voice over internet protocol. Satellite communication and other forms of communications are still in their infancy. Wow. So ano pa? What we're expecting for? So parang marami pa, no, to expect and to happen in the next 10 years or 20 years. So in addition to internet, this category also includes mobile telephone, cable, DSL, satellite, and other broadband connectivity. So anything that uses third-party systems is called networking. Kaya nga sa atin, nakikinetwork tayo, no? May mga kamarites tayo, ka-friendship, ka-gang, and all other brands, no? When it comes to network. The more people, the more people you're connected, the better you can be. So kailangan mong maki-network. Just like here, in information and communications technology, the more you are connected, the more you are given chance to maximize your God-given talents and of course your wisdom. Yeah. Of course, in everything that we do, no, when it comes to connections with ICT, there are national and international policies governing it because the the systems or the providers are not just from the Philippines, but they are around the globe. So when we make use of Google, when you make use of your Gmail and all other platforms, what we are complying with are the terms and conditions from their own countries, no? In the US maybe, or in Western countries, or in Japan, or in China. So we make use of their national and international policies. So what is international policy? No? The international policy maker joins forces to successfully implement the ICT in education practice to address individual needs of students. Mhm. So national ICT policy is a policy put into place so that the government and its stakeholder can have access to information that committed to bring digital technology to all individuals and communities. So what government agency is aligned or entrusted to a national ICT policy? Anybody?
DI,
The
DICT.
ITC. Okay.
NTC, sir.
What else? Nung wala pang
NTC
conception ng
po.
DITC, saan siya naka-lodge as a government entity for ICT policy dati? I think it was in the time of President Duterte who they created the ICT, tama ba? Or time pa niyang previous
Yes, sir. Panahon
presidents?
po ni President
Hmm.
Duterte.
Yan. So the World Bank System Assessment for Better Education result of SABER initiative as part of their work attempts to document the national educational policies around the world and their evolution over time. So it's the National Society, no, of the World Bank is also in charge of documenting the national educational policies, supporting programs for better implementation of ICT systems to education, STABER. And there are 8 key policy theme or framework around the world that are commonly identified in the promotion of education technology policies. And these 8 are the vision and planning, the ICT infrastructure, first the teacher, the skill and competencies, the learning resources, the educational management information system, the monitoring and evaluation, and the equity, inclusion, safety. So these are all the key themes and framework that is governed by the SABR, no? The System Assessment for Better Education Results. And let's take up one by one. What are these policies and frameworks? For Team 1, we have vision and planning. So we're establishing here a clear and forward-looking vision that is fundamental for integrating ICT into education. So we are looking into, or we are visioning for a long-term goal and objectives for technology use. And we believe that having a policy, no, a guided policy development implementation will ensure that all our stakeholders or our students or learners have a common understanding of the intended outcomes and benefits of technology in education. Okay, that's our vision. That in the long run, the ICT would be an avenue or vehicle for a better life. Okay, would be an instrument for them to come up with a better service and a better support to the government. Then we look into the linking of ICT education policies to other policies, which include those outside the sector or providing a mechanism for funding. For example, ang country natin na Philippines could not always provide, no, our students with all these amenities because we have millions of students, and a great funding is needed to promote one-to-one laptops or one-to-one tablets for each students. So we need somebody or an organization to help us deliver these systems to all. So napakahirap, no? So in all countries around the globe, it's also needing support for funding. Next, we have authorizing authority to lead and oversee implementation, engaging the private sectors. Of course, we capitalize on the support of our private sectors, authorizing authority to lead us and oversee the implementation. So we designate responsible authority or organization to oversee the implementation of ICT policies, ensuring that there is a clear leadership and accountability. So this authority is tasked in coordinating efforts, managing resources, and addressing any issues that would arise in the implementation process. Okay. And of course, engaging with the private sectors. So we collaborate that could enhance ICT initiatives by providing additional resources, their expertise, and innovations. Of course, it's not in the public where we can have a tie-up with all of these breakthroughs. No, it's always the private entities who could provide us system support and, okay, of course, professional development programs. Google is not in a government entity. Microsoft is not a government entity. So we will tie up with them so that we could generate, no, mm, engagement and support from them. Then we go to ICT infrastructures. We ensure adequate power and providing sufficient equipment and networking infrastructures. The second framework is how can we establish that all schools should be given or fully energized, no? Because there are still schools, especially public schools, are not energized because they are in places where we term it as off-grid. Mahirap ma-penetrate at mahirap mabigyan ng connections when it comes to power generations dahil nga malalayo at separated sila. For example, in Palanan, in Maconacon, in somewhere in Isabela. But I think okay na, no? I already went as far as in Divilacan. And in Divilacan, there is already a power supply that's connected in Aurora province, no? So okay na siya. In Palanan, do we have a complete supply of electricity already there? Palanan? Maconacon? Yes? What do you think? In Fuga Island, in Babuyan Claro, in Halayan, kumusta ang kuryente doon? 24 hours na ba or 12 hours?
Before na po, sir.
12
24
hours lang
hours
kami
na
sa
siya?
Makunakon, sir.
May taga Maconacon dito?
Meron po. Me.
Okay. So siguro kuryente. Ang kuryente ba ay open ng gabi o closed ng gabi, open sa araw?
May time po na ano, sir, na hanggang 12 ng gabi. Depende. Depende din po,
Mag-o-off na
sir.
siya. Kung alam niyo matulog na
Opo.
kayo. Okay.
Opo,
So
sir.
supplement niyo na siya ng solar power. Yun.
Yes, sir. Pwede. Electric fan, tsaka ano po, ilaw. Solar na din.
Kasi malalakas na rin ang mga solar power, no? That's one way that the Department of Education in consortium or in tandem with the ICT providing solar paneled school so that the computer systems will also be solar energized. May ganon sila na provide sa mga last mile schools. We term them as the last mile schools in DepEd. Pag sinabing last mile schools, these are schools that are hardly reached by basic services and resources. Aminin man natin at hindi, we cannot provide all the affluence of urban and city schools to those places. Kaya nakikita nyo yung mga building nila, yung mga classrooms nila ay kahoy pa rin dahil ang hirap, no? Yung gastos na ipasok doon, yung semento, yung galvanized iron, mga ganun, mahirap siya, no? Pero gusto naman nila na magkaroon ng eskwelahan talaga. So we are meeting both ends to provide them with a basic lang, no? Tawag doon, makeshift, no? We term that as makeshift classrooms. Hindi siya permanent. Mga semi-permanent lang siya. So, as much as we could want to provide them with the basic resources, napakahirap kasi i-penetrate. And these schools are called multi-grade schools. We talk about multi-grade schools. There are combinations of grade levels handled by one teacher. For example, grade 1, 2, 3, it's being handled by one teacher. 4, 5, 6, handled by one teacher to complete the elementary school. Ganun kahirap, no? But then, if that's the only way that you will be accepted, no, as permanent teacher, then you still accept it. That's part of your experience, no? If they ask you, would you want to go to Maconacon and teach a multi-grade class? Say yes. Okay, or ALS teacher, gusto mo ba? Or maging iPad teacher ka? Yes. Because sooner or later, 2 or 3 years, pwede ka naman nang uuwi. Pero kung gusto ko nang makipag-asawa doon sa lugar, okay. Kasi pag-aari mo na yung 5 bundok, 10 bundok, or white sand, beaches, o bakit ba, di ba? ikaw ang magmamay-ari doon, mga 10 years from now, magiging pan na siya, open for public, ikaw na ang pinakamayaman sa lugar. So, ang dami kong nakilalang mga from cities sila or dito sa mga mainland, tapos nandun sila. Oh, ayaw mo nang umuwi? Sabi ko, hindi na sir, may asawa na ako dito. So, donya ka na dito. Tutawa lang sila because they own a very wide vast land. Mga donya na mga teachers. Okay. Then, Team 3, of course, framework for teachers. Of course, we want to provide them with ICT-related training. That's technical and both pedagogical for teachers, identifying a set of related teacher ICT competency standards supporting teachers in their use of ICT, because that's the very role why we want to help teachers to better provide them with competencies. Of course, if they could relay and provide also support to their learners. You cannot teach what you do not have, no? It's number one. Team 4 is the skills and competencies. We identify ICT literacy, digital competency standards, and offering related training, support, and assessment, and of course, certification, articulating and supporting ICT-enabled lifelong learning opportunities. So that's the end goal of why we want to provide ICT skills trainings and competencies, so that you know how to manipulate the work systems now, because that's the call or the game now. When it comes to workplace, you should know how to manipulate computers. Talong-talo ka talaga kung hindi ka mabihasa, no, or well versed with these tools, no, for 21st century. The learning resources for Team 5, that's supporting the development, dissemination, and utilization of digital learning resources. That would be the end goal again, aside from the skills and competencies, is to provide our students with various platforms, various resources, various learning opportunities through the use of these technology tools na galing mismo sa ICT. And Team 6 is the Education Management Information System, or the EMIS, that was supporting the collection, processing, analysis, and dissemination of education-related data to relevant stakeholders. Of course, we want to know actual data being generated. So we want to know the exact enrollment within seconds or minutes. We want to know the generated results of their grades in one particular day. And computed na ang mga honors natin. And we have a repository of all these resources and information in one storage system. Okay? In DepEd, we have the EBIS or EBIS. Okay. What do you think is the meaning of the acronym EBIS stands for? Anybody? That's our information system in the Department of Education, wherein you're going to input everything from the name of your school head, the name of your school, the school ID, how many chairs, how many seats, how many tables, how many teachers, what are the information of these teachers when it comes to position, full name, surname, GSIS number, ganon. Nandun na lahat. That's called EBIS. What is EBIS? Anybody?
Sir, Enhanced Basic Education Information System.
Yes, you're right. Who's on the line? Ma'am?
Sir, Christine May Ganaban po.
Ma'am Christine. Enhanced Basic Education Information System. Okay. And we have also information of your students. both in public and private schools, you are to input the information of your students and they are given a permanent number. What do you call the information systems for students? We have the LIS. What is LIS or list stands for?
Sir,
Yes.
learner information system po.
Correct. That's learner's information system. So every advisor, you are tasked to enroll your students, no? And promote your students through the LIS para proceed to the next grade level. Even in students who are transferring, hindi na yung papel ang trina-transfer natin or yung documents, but the name of the student. And we have the unique number per students. What do you call the unique number? You have advanced study about the unique number?
LRN, sir.
Correct. LRN. What is LRN?
Learning reference number.
Learner reference number.
Is it learning or learner's reference number?
Learner.
Lumalabas yan sa
Learner.
leta. You should be very
Learners.
careful of... Ha?
Learner po. Learners.
Learners registry.
Learner reference number.
Referencer.
Oh, yun, no? Baka learner's
Learner
registry
reference.
number, learner's reference number, ganon. So the proper term is learner's reference number. So that's a permanent number that is being transferred from one grade level to the next when they will be promoted to the next year level. So magiging peke ang isang school if the student would not be able to provide with a particular unique number. So peke ang school kung hindi sila nag-generate ng LRN, both public and private schools. We also have systems for the managing of various programs and projects, including financial resources. We have the PMIS. What is PMIS stands for?
Sir,
Yes.
project management information system po.
Okay. Is it project or program? Tingnan nyo nga.
Program.
Program
Program.
po.
Program.
Information
Oh, be
system.
careful of those terms. Oh, it's program management information system. So lahat ng mga kaperahan ng schools, ng MOOE, nandun lahat ng mga work and financial plans, millions and billions of pesos nandyan. So kailangan nating i-declare lahat, no? For basis of accountability. Yeah. Then we go to Team 7. That's monitoring and evaluation. It's very important, no? So we need a monitoring of ICT use in education and evaluating its impact on teaching and learning. Baka naman useless ang paggamit natin ng ICT. Saan na yung mga laptops, no? Baka ginagamit ng anak ng guro. Okay, nabigyan ng laptop si principal pero gamit ng kanyang asawa na nasa ibang company. Yan. Or ginagamit niyang panood ng Netflix, hindi naman nagagamit sa school utilization. Utilizing ICTs to support assessment activities, that's number 1 goal also. No? Para mas mapabilis ang generation of results. And of course, analysis of results. Mas maganda kung naka-ICT na siya. No? Gaya ng ginagawa natin, I just post your results in just a click of seconds. Dedicated support for exploring innovative uses of ICT in education. Then, Team 8 is, of course, we look into the equity, inclusion, and safety of everyone. We prioritize pro-equity provisions and approaches related to the use of ICTs in education. So everybody regardless of status in life and backgrounds, they need to be acquainted and make use of the ICT. Kailangan ay lahat nakaka-experience at nakakagamit. That's equity for everyone. Articulating and supporting efforts to promote the ethical practices related to ICT use in education, including the safety and security of all the data and appropriate privacy provisions. Very important, no? That the declaration of the Data Privacy Act should be taken into considerations and be given always with optimum options and careful handling of all this data. Then we go to the ICT, no, as we mentioned, is formulated a roadmap to guide all agencies in the utilization, regulation, and enhancement of ICT. So each project has a corresponding policy statements and guidelines. We have first project, that's ICT for Education or ICT4E. It's a program under the DITC that supports all efforts of the education sector in incorporating the use of ICT as well as determining and gaining access to its infrastructures, be it in hardware, software, and telecommunication facilities and others. So which are necessary to use and deploy learning technologies at all levels of education. And we do hope na mas maraming nare-reach out ang DITC in the provision of free internet access to all schools and communities. Not just schools, but also among areas for public use. Okay? Kasi ang daming mga assignments and reports na kailangan gamitin for internet. So there are also, among other policy recommended programs that have applications to education, teaching, learning. To mention, first is ICT in Education Master Plan. This is a national roadmap for faculty development in ICT in education. For teachers naman to, ICT Educational Master Plan. Then we have the Content and Application Development. That's Open Content is Education Initiative or OCI, which converts DepEd materials into interactive multimedia content. So for example, the PDF copy of our textbooks or learning resources could be converted into a interactive multimedia content. So pwedeng yung screen, no? Meron tayong mga multimedia platform screens ngayon na pwedeng hawakan ng bata, no? Tapos gamitin na niya through the fingertips kung saan pwede siyang mag-drawing, mag-connect, connect the dots, or use puzzles. So interactive media platforms na. And develop applications used in schools, conduct student-teachers competitions to promote the development of education-related web content. Then we go to FedNet. What is this FedNet? It's a walled garden that hosts educational learning and teaching materials and applications for the use of Filipino students, together with their parents and teachers. So all public high schools will be part of this network, with only DepEd-approved multimedia applications, materials, and mirrored internet sites that are only accessible for school personal computers. So in a walled garden, nai-strain lang at kung ano lang yung needed applications na for schools and for children. So hindi lahat ay pwedeng ma-access ng mga bata sa loob ng paaralan, most especially among internet sites. So kung meron mang gawin yung bata na yan, nakikita, no? So mirrored. Kahit hindi mo binabantayan, makikita mo kung anong ginagawa ni user 6 doon sa kanyang PC. Number 4, establish community e-learning centers. Called it as Eskwela for out-of-school youth, providing them with ICT enhanced alternative education opportunities. So since they don't want to go to school personally from Mondays to Fridays, then the e-escuela is providing them free laptops or tablets that are with built-in modules for them to work on. So social na, no? Hindi gaya noon na printed modules, ngayon ay laptop or tablets na lang ang ibigay natin. Then we have the equality program for our tertiary education naman among SUCs to provide quality IT education and the use of ICT in the country. Then we have the digital media arts programs, which build digital media skills for government using an open source technology. So particular beneficiary agencies includes the Philippine Information Agency and other government media organizations, just like the Cultural Center of the Philippines, the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and other government agencies, state universities and colleges, and local government units. So we maximize the use of siguro AI platforms or all other systems online to make use of more improved media arts. Then ICT skills strategic plan, which develops interagency approach to identify strategic and policy program recommendations that would address the ICT skills demand and supply time. So all of these 7 programs are guided by the roadmap that embeds policy statement that relate to education, specifically in the enhancement of development for teaching and learning. Okay, thanks to the ICT for this support. Now, along with the opportunities and privileges that we are maximizing when it comes to the use of ICT, especially internet services, there are governing issues and internet policies and regulations. And we have here 4 identified issues and concerns that we need to address, okay, right on hand, most especially among our teachers and to all our students. First is the freedom of expressions and censorship, the privacy and security privacy policies. We have the surveillance and data retention. That's number 3 issue. And of course, our e-pollutants and e-waste. So at this point in time, I want you to work on and have an advanced discussions and research about these 4 issues and concerns when it comes to ICT. So you will be working with your co-groups since these are only 4. So we will be regrouping you. Would that be okay that you will be regrouped again? For 4 groups only? And work on with the one I sent you earlier. Were you able to open the MS Word about the program title proposal? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so with your group, we're going to provide input about your concept